Hello, everybody, and welcome into the beauty shop. I am so happy and I'm so excited that you guys are here. Happy Sunday. We have some of the baddest stylists that are making their way in. As you guys come in, be sure to say hello. We're going to go ahead and just get this thing started, right? So I will see you guys momentarily. The doors of the beauty shop is now open.
Are y'all ready for this?
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the beauty shop. I am so happy that you guys are here. We're going to go ahead and get the specifics out of the way. It is another amazing Sunday, and we have a great conversation for you guys. So I hope you guys are ready, okay? So let's just go ahead and let's get all of the specifics out of the way right now. Please know that we are streaming on all of our podcasts, no matter which one you are joining in on. We are on our YouTube. We're also under TKBSDS Productions. So if you guys are listening in there, we're there. If you are coming in under the No, that is the KNOW BS Duo Show, make sure you guys say hello. And all of my sisters and all of my brothers, if you're coming in under the sister chat, be sure to say hello there. All of my vibers, hello guys. Thank you so much for coming in. So here it is, me with the 411, waiting for all of the others to come in. It is going to be a great experience today. If you guys have been joining in, I know that you have seen so many things that has been going on in comments and things of that nature. So we want to thank each and every one of you guys for just popping in and giving us your love and your support and giving us a listening ear, because guess what, by you giving us a listening ear, all we know how to do now is just give you something good. There's a stylist in the house. I'm gonna let her give me a thumbs up when she's ready to come in. We have one of the stylists that is here. If you're a hairstylist and you are ready to come in, please give me a thumbs up so I can make sure you're ready. She maneuvering. I see her. Hey, Miss Dad. Thank you so much for coming in, Miss Dad. And the stylist is ready. So, hey, cousin. You're muted, honey.
I know. I had to mute. I didn't know you were on and you were talking, and I'm talking to you. I'm like, oh wait, no, she on mute.
That's why I said, wait a minute, let me wait till she give me a thumbs up so I can make sure she is ready to come in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So I got I put away the specifics to let everybody know I do have to leave, but I'm going to stay in until the other stylists come. So happy Sunday. How is your Sunday? Shannon, thank you so much for coming in. Hello, Shannon. Thank you guys for coming in. As you guys come in, please let us know where you are watching us from. We definitely appreciate that. Cuzzo, tell me about your Sunday.
So my Sunday just got better, became better. Can you hear her in the background? Say it again.
I know. I knew it got better. That's why I said little girl there.
Yeah, she's talking back to you, Naya. So so my day just was better because she had to be kind of evacuated from her school from Ian, the Hurricane Ian. So my Friday was just so chaotic, trying to make sure that she was good and cool. So she was with family for the weekend. So now she's back on campus,
Yay.
and she's
Thank God.
getting everything situated together. So there was nothing destroyed. So we're happy about that. So now my pressure is low and I'm
Yeah, we
good because
get
now she's
dropped.
back where she's supposed to be, where I dropped her off at, and that is at school.
Yeah.
So
But you know, Ian was supposed to do some damage. You know, over here in Jersey, it's raining like absolutely
yeah,
crazy.
it's raining over here hard too.
Yeah.
And she's in Virginia, so it was coming up the coast.
Mm-hmm.
And she's surrounded by schools. So if anybody know where Hampton University is, y'all know the body of water is right there with my little mini bee body.
What, but guess what? Guess what? Because of who we serve and she there, everybody is safe. Everybody
Exactly.
is safe because she there, and I said
Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly what it was. I had to keep calm, had to put Mama Bear, take the Mama Bear off outfit off,
it. Yeah.
and put my soldiers and my prayer warrior on and make sure, my little one was good.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
definitely good. Hi,
Yeah.
Warren. Thank you so
Hi,
much for
Warren from
thank you for
Arizona.
joining from Arizona. Thank you so
All
much for
right
joining
now.
in. Deb, yes, Deb gave the amen. So, Cuzzo, listen, I was just explaining to everybody how can you see my lights blinking?
Mm-hmm.
You
I
see
did see
that?
a little blink.
Lord, fix it.
That's
I was talking and then all of a sudden it was like pop, 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 pop,
yeah,
pop, pop.
it's blinking.
And God said, okay, so we back.
Let there be light.
And Babe said, he said, let me switch to because she tripping over there. But you want to know what? I was just explaining to everybody how I wanted to thank them for, just always coming in and just commenting on the experiences because that gives us the leeway
Yes,
to the next experience
yes,
that we're going to speak about. So I'm so grateful just when they chime in and when they say hello. So if you guys are impacted by Ian or if you guys are in the shift of Ian or around, just please check in with us, let us know that you guys are okay.
yeah.
So we would
And it's
definitely.
it's so bad because the name is a beautiful name, but I've had a bad experience with the person who held the name. So it's just like when I hear it, I'm automatically on like because I haven't let I haven't let that go. I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
That Ian.
I haven't, yeah, I haven't let that go. I don't even say the name. I call him something totally different.
Child,
I
couple of letters.
haven't,
Couple of
and
letters.
then he gonna affect my daughter. Like what?
Yes. Okay. Like, how dare you come in and affect? So, because we know Ian and we know what the storm is capable of, I guess the conversation can be centered around the Ian factor, the bad,
Yeah,
the horrible, the mix up, the destructive relationships. Right?
exactly.
May it be Ian or Ion for
Ion.
female.
I like Ion. I like Ion.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's the female. So we want to be
yeah,
gender neutral. So we want to be.
yeah,
So have you guys experienced? Because he said y'all mess up too. Did you see?
yeah. We do, and he's totally right. Yes, we do. And I am a woman who will own up to my mistakes. And
The
that was,
Ions
and
messed
this
up
is a
as well.
part. I have an aya moment,
Mhm.
and this is a spinoff of our part two from healing because all of this is coming under that same umbrella
Yes, the healing
of
series.
healing, and the tide is changing. And I'm kind of old school, new school, where I was around my grandmom and the elders and the mothers of the family, and it's something about when the storms come in and they rage in and the overflow and the shifting of the tide. And even though the hurricane came in and it's destructive and is tearing up different things, you can also spin it to what you have going on in your life. And this is God's moment of tearing you down, breaking you down, getting you to that
That's
lowest common denominator. And He's about to make a bigger experience for you and about to bless you more abundantly than He's done in the past. And it's just time for Him to show up and show out. And
yes.
also with storms, we was always told to be quiet, be still, cut the lights out.
Yeah,
There was
you
no
saw the lights
movie
blinking. I was like, okay, let me go in the closet. No,
right
let me go in the bathroom
in the
in the
bathroom.
tub.
Yes, and my grandma would cut the lights off. We would be in her room, all catered around her bed. And, she was the mother of the church. So she would start humming and rocking and singing and praying. And, eventually we fell asleep while she was still up in the
In
midst
the
of
storm.
the
In the storm.
storm,
You fall
in
asleep
the
in the
storm.
storm.
And she's praying for everything and whatever. And at the time growing up, I'm like, here she go again. Here her grandmama again. But those prayers brought us over. Those prayers brought us through. And me listening to her without listening to her, I also have those grandmother prayers that comes out every now and again. And I hear her and I feel her when I am praying. So I be like, okay, grandma, I was listening, but not listening.
Okay, I heard you. I promise I heard you. That said, we all need to own that. Yes, we do.
Yes,
The
yes,
eons and the ions. We
yes.
all need to definitely own that. And you know what? My mom, I believe my mom wasn't into um, church and things like that. But um, when she was younger, she may have been, but in the older years, she was not.
Hmm.
But I definitely know that my great grandmom and my grandma, definitely we all had that background. So I know those hymns and, make sure you turn these lights out and we all stay in one room together. And, we do what we have to do to weather the storm while we're going through the storm. So while the babies are sleeping, the mothers is up there, they're praying and they're checking the houses and they're making sure that
Hmm.
everything is okay. And I do that now. I do that now. Well, just like you said, I'm like, oh yeah, it's raining. We need to make sure everybody is okay. Like that's the first time the light did that, but we would probably all been in one room if I would have saw it
Right,
a half an hour
right.
ago. So I definitely know. So the Ians, y'all. Let's discuss. All right, the
Just
Ians and
jump
the
in. Just go ahead and jump right into it.
let's jump right in. Look, I got to say the ions because I don't even want to you know. So the Ians and the ions, when they come in and when we have those destructive relationships, a lot of times people count it as something as being bad. Like, they just came in and they just messed my world up. They just came in and they just took everything. They just came in and they just gave, massive havoc. And now I'm depressed and I'm all over the place. So how does one recover from that relationships or storm ship? Yeah.
Right, right,
How, how does one recover from the storm ship? And have you recovered from the storm ship, from the Ians and the ions?
right, right.
Did
That's
you
that's
recover
the
from your
question.
Ian? Did you recover from your?
No,
I think you did.
no, I haven't because the thing with that relationship, it was a lot of time invested and a lot of energy was put in from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of the relationship, I didn't feel the shift. It was just like woke up one day and both was like, I don't like you, you don't like me type thing. It was just like a vibe that happened. And
Mm-hmm.
instead of us talking about it, it just parted. And then with it parting and then having mutual friends, little bit by little bit, people kept saying stuff. And it's like, so
Mm-hmm.
eventually I found out what really happened, what the real was.
What was the real?
So the real was so before I met him, years before, he was married and he was in the process of getting divorced. So he had a son. So they had a child together and they supposedly had separated and everything. So he was living a double life with me. And so he was working and his job relocated him. And when it relocated him to where she lived. So now he was closer to her and his son. No problem. He's an awesome dad. I will not take that from him. He's a hard worker. I will not take that from him either. But instead of him just being truthful, because I did ask the question, like, hey, you're relocated, we're distant, and it's nothing being insecure, but that's still your wife. Even though y'all did sign the papers, it's not dry yet. That's still your wife. That's the mother of your child. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
may come to a point where y'all want to talk now. And you may realize that y'all breakup wasn't worth any of this. And you may want to get back with her. And that's totally fine. And
Mm-hmm.
he, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. Da, 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 da. Oh, listen, if it is, just let a sister know.
Let me know.
Let me know. And I said, because things happen when you have time apart. and then you come back and have a time where y'all want to sit, you realize that it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, maybe if we would have listened to each other, now we're listening to each other. You never know. Those old flames might flick right back up, and then you realize, hey, I still love her. I still love him. And and I was totally fine with that. But he kept saying that that wasn't the case, but that definitely was the case. And that's definitely what happened. And then
Mm-hmm.
they wind up having another child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I found out that she was having a child, he lied and said it was somebody else's. But he's not that guy that's just going to let any man come in with his son and not talk to you about it. He's going to have a reaction and feeling. And he was so quiet. And I'm like, for you to be so protective over your child, you never said she had a boyfriend, let alone was pregnant.
Mm.
So, like,
Yes. Go
you
ahead. Double double.
you just letting it chill, like roll off your neck, like, oh yeah, she having a baby.
How he do it?
She having a baby. Yeah, she pregnant. She about to drop any day now. And I'm just like, come on, sir, be real,
Mm-hmm.
be real.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt bad. He felt bad, and so there was never any closure. There was never ever decided or said that yes, that's his child. Yes, he got back with her. But years later, it came out that is what it was. So no, I didn't get over it because I had a lot of questions still. And I was trying to figure out, like, if I came to you and I was open with you, why you didn't tell the truth? You continue to lie when I asked you a blatant question. So that bothered me. And then, we had some money, we had an investment, and I wanted my no longer to be a part of the investment, and I want my money back. And he didn't get my money back.
Oh, we coming after you, fool. Oh,
He still got my money.
that's right. Yeah, that man wanted his cake and eat it too.
Yep. Yep. And I was just like, okay, so knowing that we're not together, knowing that I'm not investing in this anymore, and the money I gave you was for our investment. We was a couple, we were building together. Now you're taking it and you're flourishing from, well, I don't know if you're flourishing because I don't keep in contact with anybody that's attached to him. But I'm a single mother. You took my money. Give my money back. You didn't got
Please,
taxes, every
thank you.
you didn't got promotions. Give my money.
Oh my goodness, and that's the hardest part when okay, I want my coins. That's the hardest part when the relationship like severs. Like how if we built something together, like how do we do that? Are we strong enough to be able to say, all right, we just gonna continue to rock this out, for the business sake? Do we part ways? Do we close the business? Do we
Mm-mm.
revamp the business? Because when things like that happen and you guys are already vested, oh my goodness, it's so hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
1414. Thank you guys. I am a believer of numbers. Thank you so much for the prosperity. 1414. I absolutely love it. You guys rock. So Deb said, do you have proof of the investment? Deb is getting ready to be 1-800 lawyer.
Not anymore. I don't. When I left, I just left everything, and I tore up everything. I don't have anything from it at all. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it would be just me going probably to my bank account, proving that I maxed out this money. But from that point forward, I just destroyed everything. I destroyed pictures, the whole thing.
But you want to know what? Sometimes it's just okay to just go ahead and just cut your losses
I just let it go. I
and
just
just
burned it. I made a little pile, and I just burnt the
yes,
whole
honey,
thing.
we burning bad vibes around
Yes,
this place.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I burned it with my sage, my incense. I burnt everything.
I know that's right. But we have another stylist that is here. I want to make sure she's ready. Stylist, please give me thumbs up if you are ready to come. Oh, she ready. Okay. She like, I'm
She
here and
ready.
I'm
She
ready. Okay. Look, she like
ready.
this in the back real. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let the stylist in, and I'm going to have to bid you guys a farewell. Hello, beautiful. Thank you so much
Hello.
for
Lord, I was flying down 476. I'm
uh,
like, what the red light? Come on, green light. Come on. I
I
heard
want
bad vibes. I said they must have been praying. They must have been praying. I was like, I need to get the good vibes. Hurry up and get back to the skirts of
to.
Philadelphia.
Okay, get
Mm-hmm.
them vibes going on. Well, I want to thank you guys so much. And unfortunately, I have to leave my portion of the shop today. But I hope you guys, I enjoyed speaking to you guys.
Yeah, y'all was doing
Thank you
good. I
so
was listening.
Thank you so much for joining in. We have another the owner is in the house, so I know you guys are going to be
I'm
very
gonna
well
give
taken
their
care of.
towels on that one because you see
There
how
was
she threw the towel, right? You see how she just threw the towel.
No,
but
she didn't throw a top. She threw a nugget.
oh, okay. So I have to I have to go. I have to run, but I love you all and thank you so much for joining in to the beauty shop. Until next time, if I can chime back in, I will. But
Okay.
I will see you guys on the other side, okay?
All
All
right. On
right.
the other
Bye
side, be
guys.
safe out there. It's wild.
I know it's horrible.
Yeah.
Bye guys.
All right. So yes, guys. Thank you. You guys held it down always. Y'all kept the shop going while I had to come back into the shop. So good stuff, especially with the vows, the good vibes and the burning of the sage and getting rid of the negative vibes, I don't know if people really realize that that's a thing.
Yeah, so it was I had an exercise with a friend who's she's a friend. She's an associate now. She's not a friend anymore. But she is big on saging and bad energies, candles. And it's not any witchcraft or anything like that, but it's just, cleansing your energy.
Right.
And how we got to the Ian and the Ian part of it, Val asked me about my Ian. And is even though we labeled the storms and situations in life, for men
Right.
is Ians and for women is Ions. And Shauna's laughing and she keeps saying, wait a minute, because I don't mention his name. I never say his name. I call him something totally different.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
so
say the
she,
name.
well, we're talking about the storm, just happens to be that same, yeah. But
Good.
we were talking about the investment that I had with him, and he took my money, and now I've lost everything from. I didn't lose everything from it, but the money portion I lost from it, and I had no ties to him. And Deb asked if I had like receipts, and it's like no, because I released everything from him. I burned pictures, everything from our relationship that I had of his. I burnt it and it's gone. So with that, the lady that my associate, we was close at that time. She was my friend at that time.
Okay.
And we talked about releasing that because it had been 5 years that I was with this dude, almost 6. And it was a lot of time invested. And the hurt was a deep hurt. And in order for me to move forward, she was like, you should cleanse. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you have your white candles that produce this, your black candles produce this, your red candles. So, we talked about that and about the sage and about different incense and different smells. So that was in my bonfire for me to just release it and to let it go. So
Okay.
part of releasing, letting it go is I don't refer to him as his name. And yes, I don't feel like I'm over it because there has been times that when his name is mentioned, I'm just like, "Rrr." And it's times that I bump into people who reminds me of him, and I'm like, "Rrr," you know, and and I don't know if it was just I know it's me because I had to let that go. And I had conversations with a guy I'm semi dating, not dating, and we talked about that because he has red flags. Yeah, he has flags that reminds me of him, and it was up for me to say that's not him. You can't blame him for that. It's not a bad quality, but that's just something that he did. And it's like in growing up, the type of that thing that he do, that is the men in our life that taught us this is what men, this is how men
Yeah.
this is how men, this is what men do. So it put me in a spill of where it's like I'm about to run because I see an outcome because this is what I did. And I don't want to blame him, but I'm blaming him. And I don't want to run, but I'm running. So it got really, really chaotic and really, you know. But I put my big girl panties on and I dealt with the Ian in my life. And, I released it and now the door is closed. Like Deb said, once that door closed, another door opens. And, I know what part I played and I know things that I did and what I didn't do. But no
Mhm.
matter what I did or didn't do, the outcome is the outcome.
Right.
If that's not the person for you, then it's nothing you're ever going to do to make that person be your person. And that's the part where we said this is a part two of healing. And I don't know if you were here when I broke down of how the Ians versus the ions, and we're the ions, females are ions, where we have different storms in our life because this hurricane came through and it was destructive, and it damaged a lot of things. And we said we can turn that to be where how we grew up when grandmom said the tide is changing, and when the tide changes, blessings come in. And
Right.
when you're broken down to the last part of it, this is what's happening to you during this time frame. And when the storm is here, how you be quiet and you listen and you just be still. So that's what me and Val was talking about when you came in, and we were asking people like, have you dealt with your Ian or your ion in your life? Have you healed from that? Has the storm shifted to now you're in that healing process,
Mhm.
or are you still in the midst of the destruction?
So that kind of like opens up another door for me when you talk about how grandma used to say the storm, and when you hear the storm, how you relax and it relaxes you and it calms you. And I know that when I hear the rain tends to calm me down and I'm able to relax and go to sleep no matter how up I may be. And I listened to the storm, and it was funny because I was away this weekend, and I turned the storm on, and then it was a storm outside. But then here is the scriptural part. It gave me peace beyond my storm. So I just kind of said something right there. Some people don't realize that you can find peace within your storm when you come into terms with your storm, which comes right back to what you said. How are you dealing with your storm? How are you dealing with your in or your iron? Are you healing? When you take the thought process and you change it, the narrative of exactly what's going on, and you really do a thorough, what I like to say, checklist and self eval or eval on it, it kind of brings the storm to an equal medium where you're in the center and you have to think about the turmoil that's going around you and figure out, are you the reason for that spin or opposite? Majority of the time, it does take two to tango, and it is some parts of us, no matter what nobody say, I'm sorry, just me. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Tips. Love it. And you know, it just makes you have to, and it's not saying you're blaming yourself. So let me be clear. It's not saying that you're blaming yourself for whatever happened, what happened, how it happened, where did the storm come from, how did the storm come, or wherever it came. It's here. What part did you play? Regardless, we all play a part. But once we are healed to the point where we can see that, we're going to keep blaming the storm on the ones that we keep naming. And I found that the tendency was, for me, it was a story that told me about my storm. It was a cartoon, and it was a Hallmark card, a Hallmark story that told me about my storms. And all the time I kept saying and naming my storms, calling, not saying my storms' names, help thinking that was helping me, but really it wasn't. It wasn't until I ripped the band-aid off and was like, look, it is what it is. How do I deal with this? How do I move on? How do I stop blaming everybody else? Even though I didn't cause it, I still had something. You know what I mean? It was just like
Mm-hmm.
the lady who told me, and tell me if I'm going too fast or I'm going all over the place where y'all like, okay, where's she going with this? Because I know my aura and I know how I can change the atmosphere in a room, I be careful how I walk in rooms, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like our pastors used to say, It's not that you're ashamed of your religion because you're talking about your religion. You're being respectful to not only your religion, but other people's religion. When you respect somebody else's religion while you're in the room with them, what does that mean? I'm going to praise them all day long. That's me. But somebody else may not be a praiser. So I got to be careful how I'm boasting and bragging my praise, if that makes sense. I'm not going to just throw my praise on them like, shame you, bless you, because you're not believing in what I'm believing in, or you're not feeling what I'm feeling. So I'm going to be respectful to your space.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with our situations with our storms. Some of our storms was because we were not respectful to the fact that it wasn't just our space. When we in these storms, we think this is my storm, this is how I'm going to handle my storm, but you're not alone in your storm. Somebody else is in a storm with you, and you have to respectfully understand, well, where I turn left when I hydroplane, this person turned right, maybe because that was the direction they was going. It didn't make them wrong. It's like the 6 and the 9. Where were they in the storm where it looked like what it looked like? That makes sense? Causing a lot of what we say, oh, you gave me negative vibes, or you gave me bad vibes. No, sometimes we bring on our own bad vibes. We start some of our own forest fires. I'm saying we do. I'm guilty, and I'm making myself vulnerable right now because I can honestly say I really believe that I've healed from some things, and I've learned to turn off certain energies no matter who they were.
Mm-hmm.
Family, friend, or foe. Because if you can't be mature enough to respect the fact that you crossed the line with me and it's okay, and we supposed to act like every day is every day and everything is normal. No, no.
Yeah, that's why we said last week, this is a part two of it because
Yeah.
you can go a little deeper into because sometimes when people, like I said for me last week, when I'm going through something or coming out of something, I separate myself. Where some people say that's not good to do. But for me, it's good because that's allowing me time and I'm not projecting anything on you. I'm not having any displaced anger towards you. I'm not taking things personal because I'm not in a good space right now. I don't want to hear what you have to say, or I don't want to hear the good news you have to tell me. And not saying that I can't celebrate you while I'm going through something. It's just at that moment, just give me that time so that I can genuinely celebrate you and I can genuinely be happy for you and I can show up for you without being a sour one. And it's not a pity party either because you do have some of those friends that be like, oh, you got to get out. Come on, come on. And they tell everybody, oh, she broke up with him. Come on, let's try to make her happy. Now everybody want to set you up with Tom and JoJo from around the corner and the pizza man, the mailman, the milkman, and they want to DoorDash you so that you see the DoorDashing man. It's like, come on, come on, come on. That's not what we're doing here. It's not healthy.
Yeah. Sometimes our help is not the help.
Yeah. And it's like
We
you
don't.
have to allow me to
Yeah.
go through this. And if I want to reach out to you and say, hey, you know what? You got a cute milkman on your block. You got the cute milkman on your block. I'm gonna come through your block a couple times, you know. Or what happened to me the other day, I'm a fall, so he gonna see me falling. And maybe he'll help me up. Like
Yo, I just fell out my chair. I hope I didn't burn my hair. Oh, did I burn your ear?
but some people in the storm with you are just dirty, and you need to know that and release them. And that's true because you know who's in your corner. You know when you have that breakup, or even not even so much of a woman and man breakup. Even if you have that, your friend, your female, your girlfriend, y'all separate. You have that one friend like, oh yeah, I ain't trust her anyway. I told you she was this. Told you like you have that negative Nancy,
Yeah.
and you
And
have that
that's a
negative Robert in your ear and they want
yeah.
to keep you right there
And
and
that's a hurt.
remind you of what it is. And it's like you don't need that right now. Like,
Mhm, mhm.
what
And
what is
that's
your point
funny.
in saying that?
That is so funny. It's like they have to be right. And they be so wrong, but they have to be right because they have to win. You have to be careful about people that's in your corner that have to win. And it's not because they need to win. They need to win because they was always losing or they was always hurting or they felt always betrayed. Those are the ones that you even get, girl, you know you could do better than that. Girl, he wasn't this. Girl, he wasn't that. Well, you know I told you he was him. Or yeah, da, 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 da. Talk about it. Hey, y'all. Hey, Bill. Hey,
Hey, how
Fire.
are you?
We want to see you. Our deepest sympathy to you, my brother. We got much love for you. Do know that.
Yes, yes.
But the run backwards real fast. Yeah, you got to be careful of that person, because that person is speaking from experience. Do know that we all speak from experience, of a past experience, some good, some bad. Some people came out of, some people still in it, and some people will not acknowledge the fact that they're still in it, and they're the ones that's in your ear, to be the ones that your mind be playing that conscious trick on you. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
show him he missing out on you. Go get your hair done. Go order that fu dress. You remember
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce song, right? We all got the dress in the closet. We all got the dress in the closet. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it don't take that. Sometimes it got to be a fu.
Right,
I'm just saying. Some
right.
people not going to agree with what you want to say, but you have to be the one to agree with the one that you're going to be left with, and that's
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Because it's good to have that sounding board. It's good to have that sounding board. It's good when you are able to, let someone know that, hey, because with females in general, we have this stereotype
Mhm.
that we're strong.
Right.
And then we have this other stereotype that we're all emotional.
Mhm.
And then the minute that the strong one, like in my case, people always tell me how strong I am. And so when I'm hurt, they're like, oh, Sarita's hurt. What do we do? Oh my
Wait,
God, what do we
time
do?
out.
Like
Time
Sarita's
out.
hurting. We
Time
gotta we
out.
gotta we gotta do something. Sarita's hurting. Oh my
Wait.
God.
Time out, y'all. Time out. So this when you see the real me and her come out, okay? Because I declare, when her daughter went away, I was like, she's gonna be all alone. I gotta get her busy. I gotta do something with her. She's gonna be sad. She's gonna be lonely. Immediately. And she was looking at me like, I'm fine. I was like, no, you're not. And she was like, yes, I am. And I was like, then I had to stop and go, wait a minute, Sean. We talk about Ree. Ree don't do this. You do this.
And when we do this, whatever side she's on, then it's like, oh my God, the world just stops and it just gets dark.
Because she's the strong one.
And y'all, it gets dark.
Yes, I'm trying to tell you. Because when she
Then
go down, we be like,
and then Deb, that's when I just need that listening ear. I don't need you trying to fix this. I don't need you coming to my house. I don't need you calling my phone. Just listen. And if I say I'm okay, don't try to read between the lines and say, no, you're not okay. Or don't try to not make me okay because you're not okay with me not being okay.
and she's
And
right.
and then when I'm not, then I'm looking around. I'm like, hey, guys, hello. And then they're like, oh, I thought you was fine. It's like, uh, uh, okay. So
But I
they
must say,
force me to be this way.
right.
It forces me to be this way.
Yeah, we do the force you to get out your comfort zone, but it's not that she needs to get out of her comfort zone. We need to get out of our zone of thinking, you know. But she woke me up a couple of times where she was like, Sean, I just want you to listen. And you're not listening. I am listening. And then she hang ups on me. And I'm like, she hung up on me. I call her back. I'm like, hello. And she said, this is what listening sounds like. I said, okay, I'm listening. And then I've learned to listen. But then her teaching me how she dealt with her situation helped me to learn to be a better person in dealing with my situation, because I had to stop and learn to listen. And I had to stop and learn to listen to me and listen to what I was saying and realize that I was making it all about me. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not being fair to the
Yep.
other person in this with me.
Yeah, that's why me and Sire clicked from, I'm sorry, Alfonso. That's why we clicked from day two, because strong people know strong people, and it happens for men too, when you always the strongest one,
Yeah.
and always you said go help or need help, or always good help people, they
Mhm.
go crazy when you need help. So you put go help too. So I was trying to fill that go help in to where you had it supposed to had it said.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go crazy. They go crazy when Bree is not.
Yeah, it's like the alarms go off. I was like, yo, can y'all leave her alone? Back up. Back up. And that was the first time when I realized that what she was trying to teach me, I was learning. Because she was like, thanks, Sean. Thanks. Really, thanks. Because that's what I thank you. And I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah, it's like when your grandma, when she have company and she said go sit down, and you wouldn't go sit down, and she just grip you by the back of your neck, or she tell you to come in and she grip your ear. She's like, I told you go sit down. That's what
Yeah.
I have to do to these people. Like, go sit down.
Yeah.
Leave me be.
And that's what I mean by when I said the respect of the other person's space of how they're dealing with the situation, because I understand this is how I deal with it, but doesn't necessarily mean that's how you deal with it. And I believe that's part of the problem with everybody today. I won't say everybody, I'm going to say majority. I've been taught better to say words. I would say the majority, because majority of us forget that we are only to show people and let them decide, not you. It's like when you get that card, you show them your card. You don't say you're gonna buy this card, but a lot of the salesmen do. But the thing is, you're not trying to sell your story for somebody to walk in your story. You're trying to sell your story to say, hey, let me encourage you to keep going. Let me encourage you that, yes, you do need healing. Let me encourage you to say, you are doing the opposite of what you're telling everybody else to do. So maybe you're not in place to sit down and talk to somebody about what they need to do, because you're not there yet. You're not ready there. So what you may need to do is hold their hand and say, I'm learning too. Sometimes
Mhm.
that helps, because if I know that I'm not the only one dealing with this and I'm not the only one struggling with this, then I don't feel so isolated by time and space, if that makes sense. Because a lot
Mhm.
of times people are like, woe is me, it's always me. No, it's not always you. Somebody else is going through it too. That's why we always encourage people, tell your story. You never know by you telling your story what you're about to do for somebody else in their story.
Mhm.
Just
And you
like
have to put time on it, because that's another thing that we do. We think that you're supposed to deal with this in a certain time frame. And it may take me 2 months to deal with it versus it takes you 2 years to deal with it, and that's okay.
right.
And
And Deb, you
you can't
nailed it.
rush it. The key word, and it's something that I have to learn and still learning, that you have to trust the process.
Say it again.
You have to trust the process.
But this is what I also add. This is my plus. This is my plus one. So when I be going out by myself, and they be like, are you by yourself? And I go, yes. They be like, there's no RSV plus one? Yeah, me, myself, and I. It's three people. One. Yes. But nevertheless, going right back, like she said, this is my plus one. Trust the process, but you don't stop there in
Wait a
trusting
minute.
the process.
Hold on for 1 second.
There is what you call a meantime, and in the meanwhile, when you trust in that process. But yes, Deb, while we going back, we're going to go ahead and hit some of these people that's in the chat. So yes, please keep sending in your information. Please keep sending in your tips, because you never know what you're saying may be helping somebody that needed to hear what you said. And like Deb said, that strong people are great at giving advice. They just don't use their own advice. Honey child, if I only could remember to take my own advice sometimes, I'm trying to tell you, I don't think I would have went through half the stuff I went through. I'm trying to tell you, only because when you, and you know why that is, it's easier to talk about something outside than it is to talk about something inside. Like I could go all day, but when I gotta now turn around and look at me, I don't see me, because I'm now having to be forced to look at me. And sometimes we can't look at ourselves, especially when we don't feel as though we are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been in a situation where they be like, well, they didn't apologize? Well, they're not going to apologize because they feel as though they weren't wrong. And only you feel that way. But again, meantime, in the meanwhile, do remember you don't have a right to tell somebody that they didn't hurt you.
Yeah,
Because
that's the part.
yeah, you don't have a right. Like I can't say I never hurt my sister before. I can't never say that. Because to her, I probably did. But to me, I didn't think I was hurting. I thought I was helping. I'm doing, which comes back to maybe the segment that we're gonna probably finally talk about next week. What we've learned, how we are to handle things. I was always taught that's what I was supposed to do. So that's when I did it. And when I did it, she looking at me like, you ain't my mother. But yeah, she making faces, y'all. She probably gonna talk to me later, like, you've been dropping me some nuggets. Yes,
Yeah.
remember,
Go ahead.
you never see yourself, even when looking in the mirror. You do see what others see.
And that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And it took a while before I figured that out. But
Mhm.
you do. When you have so many people telling you certain things, you begin to believe that.
Yeah.
And then you start acting that way, or
Mhm.
you start, you begin to look that way. And then it's not until you get that aha moment, or you get that some either somebody or something
Or,
happens,
or you get the camera shot.
you come around and it's like, wait, that's not me, that's not who I am.
So, can I tell y'all that? Did I cut you off?
Mm.
Y'all remember the movie by cartoon? Some of y'all gonna be like, I ain't watching no cartoon. I'm trying to tell y'all gonna miss the biggest message if you don't see it. Remember the movie Moana? If you really think about that movie, the movie was talking about a woman with a broken heart. She was hurt. Her heart was broken by somebody that she loved and did something good for. And they turned around and stole her heart because they wanted to please somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to be applauded. But they used her gift when he was thrown out. She was the one who saved him. And now he stole her heart. She became something that she wasn't no longer, to the point where people thought she was something else because a new beast within was created. Some of y'all call it the woman scorn. I call it the woman of fury. You know, when you hurt somebody, they become a whole different person from what you know them as.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that movie, I found that when I was hurt and my heart was broken, when I looked at myself in the mirror, when I caught myself in a camera shot, you know, them selfies, when I caught myself listening to the message I left, I was like, yo, wait a minute. This is not you. Girlfriend, back up, back up, girl. And the biggest thing that I was able to do was to turn my car on and drive away. Drive away. And don't look in the rear view mirror. That was hard for me because if you hurt me, you was going to hear that you hurt me. I was going to tell you, I was going to show you, and if I could get away with it, you was going to feel it. But it was at that point where I was like, okay, but why is that even necessary? Get what you needed from whatever happened and poof, be gone. Learn your lesson and move on. Don't you stay there and don't you stay stuck. When somebody hurts you, you be like, why they do this to me? No, why'd you do this to you? Think about what part did you play to why that even happened? Because people can only do what they're allowed to. I don't care what nobody say. I'm going to sit to it. I'm going to stick to it until I can find another reason of why I can say, but there are some situations. But as of right now, I will only say you will only allow people to do what they will to you because of your heart. Because wherever you are in that situation at that particular moment is why you allowed them to get away with what they was getting away with. Because if you didn't like them and you didn't care about them, you would not have let that happen. But
Yes. Feelings.
feelings, feelings. And we kick, that's why I love that song. You better pick up your whoop feelings.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not. So moving on. So right, like said before, God had
I
to
just hear
knock me
again.
out to wake me up, and I see better. Yes, testify.
Yes.
And Deb is saying amen, not to this what you just saying though.
Not my feelings.
No.
I had to pick up my feelings. I really did because I was going through some crazy stuff, and I was like, "Why?" And at the end, I really had to stop and say, "Why?" And when I saw who I had became, and then it made me laugh because once she got her heart back, she was like, "Okay, I forgive you." And don't we do that? It's like we get so mad, like we said earlier. Oh, I don't get like that. When I get mad, and that's why I don't like to get mad. Because when I get mad, if y'all think these names out here, I'm surprised one of these hurricanes and tornadoes ain't named after me yet. I'm just saying. But I'm not that girl no
What
more.
was you trying to say? It was a hurricane name.
No, it's not one named Shauna.
It was one named after me. So what you trying to say? What you
Well,
trying to say?
your mother even called you that. So I'm just saying. Well, we know. We know not to get on your bad side. We know what it's like.
You
You just
lucky I'm in the house by myself and I ain't got nobody to talk to.
I'm just saying, you a
Cause
whole
I would like y'all here, but no, ain't nobody in here
but
to
see,
answer
I'm a
me.
Tasami. I'm a Tasami. I'm just wiping stuff out. Okay, that's it. Done. Vroom, vroom. You know that cat? I dare y'all. Look up the GIF, the cat in the car. That'd be like this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When I saw that picture, I was like, I called her. I said, Ray, am I like that? She was like, Ray, Ray. And she was like, what? And that's what she did. And at that time, I knew. And I was like, okay, this is bad. And I cried so hard. I really did. Because when I saw who I was, I didn't like who I saw. And it was mainly because I did what I thought and was taught to do. And it burnt me. Because I was like, wait a minute, I did everything I was told to do. You know, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to act like this, and you're supposed to give this, and you're supposed to sit like this. And when I did it and it still didn't happen, then I thought about the win process because I didn't win. And can I say this? Because y'all said this when I was walking in.
Very, very nice.
I have to say this.
And we're glad that we can bring some laughter to your day, Mr.
I'm
Alfonso.
gonna always bring sire laughter. You know, I don't care how much we want things. Some things are just not ours. And we gotta know when to fight for it. If it ain't yours, give it a thank you card and see what's next for you. You may find that was the best thing that could ever happen to you. Just saying. Just saying. Best thing.
Oh my goodness. So Deb, thank you, Deb, says really only two emotions that exist and all the others seen from those two, love and fear, which is totally true. When I'm not feeling love, I ask myself, what do I fear about this situation? That's a really good question.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a really good question because a lot of people put that in, they put love and fear together, and because they're two strong words, they're two strong action words. And when you're in that state, and then that's a really good question to ask yourself, what is the fear, like what do you do, how do you even first acknowledge that it's fear? That's the other question. How do you know this is fear? And it says like, what are you afraid of? Is it a feeling that you get? Is it like, do you get sick to your stomach? Like, I know me, I stress in my stomach. So if I'm in the midst of something and something's not sitting well with me, it doesn't sit well in my stomach. And my stomach just gets all tangled and tied, and I just don't feel good at all. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know like how to fix it. It's not, I can't take no Tums,
Yeah.
Pepto Bismol, tea, like nothing works until I like get figure out what this is and what's going on. And either I can remove myself from it, or I have to like just be in it or whatever. And some people they identify that as anxiety sometimes too, and it's not anxiety. It's really just that fear of.
Mhm.
And when you say feeling love, when you're not feeling love, are you like, give me a little bit more to that? Is that just in a relationship wise, or just communication? You don't feel love because we're not speaking,
Or the
or
action
am
of.
I not doing something for you and you don't feel love? Because and I'm only reason why I say that is because a gentleman said that to me the other day, that this is whatever, and he feels like I don't love him because I'm not responding a certain way, and he's used to females responding that way.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like I don't need to respond that way. And just because I'm not responding that way doesn't mean I don't love you. And I'm not saying that the way that they respond isn't showing you a piece of love, but that's just not what I do. So now,
Right.
because I'm not doing it, you're questioning it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was causing a problem.
Right.
And I
And
don't know how to fix it.
but we just talked about that. The
And
fact of just because.
she said it's everything. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just because that's the way you felt with it, or that's the way you dealt with it, doesn't mean that everybody else deals that way. Like I always tell everybody, I'm not that girl that you could put in the girl category box. Don't do that. I'm not that woman that you could put in the woman category box, or that's what women do, or that's what girls do, or that's what the last one did. Well, they always tell me this. Don't do that when it comes to me, because I'm
Yeah.
a whole different vibe. And if we all realize that people are different vibes, yes, I understand. We were all taught that when a walk like a duck, look like a duck, and quack like a duck, then baby is a duck. I get that. But that doesn't always apply. And a lot of times we find ourselves applying situations to quotes that don't apply. Like my
Mhm.
pastor says, you put in a scripture because the scripture seems like it fits your circumstances. But if you read above it or read underneath it, you'll see neither one of them applies to your situation. So
Right.
you got to be careful how you applying stuff, just like medications or different makeups and stuff. You can't put certain makeup on you or apply it to you without testing it first. So just because that's not how you're used to handling it, it's a thing called test and try of communications. Ask. Just ask or watch, observe. See that.
Well, even that watching, and if you watch somebody, you still can come with the wrong answer
That's true. But if
because
you
in
talk
your
about what you
mind
watch,
they're not acting a certain way.
because of their perspective, what we talked
Mhm.
about before, is because you're not respecting the fact that she's different or he's different. Like you said, some people feel as though to be loved means I'm holding you, I'm with you, I'm smuggled up under you. Somebody call that clingy, and they don't like that type of love. Just because I'm direct with you and telling you, oh, I want you now. And they're like, well, dad, did he just say he wants you now? Like, and where somebody else like, baby, I miss you. I need to see you now. It doesn't mean that neither one of them is doing it differently. It just means this is the way this one does it, and this is the way this one does it. But
Mhm.
you have to find out, because it's not about you, it's the person in between in the situation, and you have to see how this one look it, how does this one look it. I like my spaghetti mixed, but I also like it separated. Some people don't like it separated. With me, I'm a girl I'm easy. I'm not easy, but I'm easy. And some people be like, that's a little weird because they've never had that type of love, or they never had that type of experience, or somebody bought me a bracelet. Okay, that doesn't mean something's going on between us. It's just a friend doing a friendly gesture. It's many things you got to remember, that we're not in this world alone. People usually use that with the UFO. No, you're the unidentified person here. You're the unidentified object that don't understand what's going on with the person. So communicate, figure it out, and then have the conversation. People have to
Yeah.
be filled within themselves. Then they have to know that love is not an emotion, it's an action. And next time someone says something about they love you or you love them, ask yourself and ask them, is this, no, is it that, oh, Corinthians love? Not what the world called love. You better shut up, boy. Now you talk about that unconditional love. And some people do not know about unconditional love. That's right. Love is necessarily meaning in love. Say it again. And you know, I've lost so many friends because of that right there. Because you love me. Oh, you know, one got mad with me because he went like this. He said, don't worry, you're gonna let me, don't worry, we can be friends now, but I'm gonna make you fall in love with me later. Boo. No, because that's how you feel. It doesn't mean it's mutual. And just because your love may not have the same definition of what my love is, because trust me, my love is unconditional and it doesn't always have to be sexual intimacy of laying with me. Sitting and holding my hand in a scary movie, that's love because I am a scary cat.
Oh my God.
So to be in there while I'm losing my mind, mind you, there is a haunted house coming to Philadelphia, and I'm looking for a group of people to go with me. So
Is
let
she
me know if
putting
y'all interested in this trip. So yeah, back to that. I told you I want y'all to go with me.
She just
Yeah, I just put an infomercial in there. So yes, Deb, yes, I'm just saying. And I have to be fair. The only reason why I learned that lesson about the love game was because I fell into that problem. Yes. When I heard love, she'll tell you, love, love, love. Woo! And then I found out, well, who the hell is that? That's the one they're in love with. What? But you was just, well, we just, well, how, what? Then the whole emotion of, I don't want to talk, I don't want to eat, I can't sleep, I'm moping around, I can't listen to no music, I just don't want nothing. And this one would say, she's going through something right now. I know she is. She don't want to talk about it right now. So I'm gonna let her go through it. And that's the best thing she could have ever done for me, was to let me go through it. So let me figure it out. Because after I figured it out and I had to learn what I just told you, just because
she
somebody said,
wasn't listening. It wasn't me doing nothing. She wasn't listening.
and you know why I wasn't listening? Because what I was hearing was not to what she was saying. And we have to understand that. A lot of us are listening, but a lot of us is not really comprehending. And I used to get mad when my teacher used to put that on my report card. She's not reading with comprehension. What the hell you mean I ain't reading with comprehension? She's not listening and comprehending what I'm saying. What you mean? Because I had my own definition. I had my own meaning of what that meant. And I wasn't, like she said, I wasn't truly listening. I had selective hearing. I heard what I wanted to hear and what I believed. Like, you know, that conversation that you had with that dude, and they'd be like, I don't want you right now, but I need you now, and I'm in love, and I love you. All I heard was, not right now. So that means I got a chance. Okay. All right. That's not what he said. And trust me, when I tell you, hit my head, because I'm a love child. All I want is love, 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 love. Like, the first love song I had was Pay the Bill. I love you. I love you. Baby, I love you. And El DeBarge, all this love is waiting for you. Oh my God, when El would sing, I would just fall out. And y'all know, 70s kids, we was in the 80s. You know how old we must have been when El came out with that song, right? And then Pay LaBelle had to go, If Only You Knew. Oh, honey. But then Musical Soul Child came out with the song Love and broke it down, even though he originally started with gospel. Some people don't know that. When he changed that word around, and I literally stopped and listened to the words to the song, I was like, wow, wait a minute. And then I went to that Corinthians love that Alfonso was talking about. And that's when I realized that there was a difference, because the love I was given was not the same love that everybody else was given or understood, which caused the storm. And that's when they got names named after them that I would not say. They're not saying no names.
So continuing reading. Read, please.
Oh, and I'm loving the fact that I can read. Are you guys noticing I'm able to read without glasses? I'm just saying. So, just for an example, my dad loves all of us like the Almighty loves us, flaws and all. That one thing I know I got from him, I spoke on this at his service. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you were able to do that. I know that wasn't easy. So kudos to you, dude. And yeah, clarity and communication is important. But make sure that when you're getting the clarity, that you're not getting the clarity and still making it what you have to say. Because that part would
That's not communication.
again. But see, some
That's
people
not
don't understand.
effective communication because
But
when
again, they don't see that as not communicating. They're not seeing
it's
this
not
whole
effective
world of texting.
communication.
This whole world of texting. Let me tell you, this whole world of texting is a whole huge problem. And
It's
then
not a
people
form of
thinking,
communication.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because you got your word, I got my word. My word means this, and your word means that. So therefore, we're not really effectively communicating. Because when I say something, you're saying that that's not what I said. I'm like, well, what are you saying? Don't beat around the bush. Tell me what you got to say directly. Pick up the phone. Call
Yeah,
and talk to me.
texting is not a form of
No,
communication
it's
because
not. But we're
one,
using it as
we
communication.
all know that in a dictionary there's thousands, millions of words.
You would know.
Yes, I would know.
Yes, you
And
would know.
and
I'll tell y'all that story later,
what I'm
y'all.
saying to you, you're thinking that it means something else, and that's not
Yes.
what I'm saying. Or the fact that I am emotional, or I'm the one who talk with my hands. If you haven't noticed that yet, I'm very expressive when I talk, when I speak, and I have my hands, I have my eyes, my eyebrows. So when people are reading my text message, they see this and they think that's what I'm saying. It's like, no, that's not what I said at all, and they heard just this one piece of it. And I'm like, because you're so focused on the emotion that you're feeling,
Woo!
and
Look at that
you're
word again.
reading into what I said, and that's not what I said. And
Yeah.
now it's time to sit down because I've been taught, and the man who taught me this, he's good in a sense because he's a good teacher, but then he's bad in a sense because he's not the example of what he teaches. And he
That part.
said, yeah, and he said, when you have to speak matters from the heart, there is no texting, there is no phone. We need to sit across from each other, face to face. And that's how I'm going to communicate with you. And that's how I hear what you're saying, because I can see what you're saying and I can feel what you're saying. Versus if you're on the phone, I'm distracted by whoever's walking around. I'm distracted if I'm driving, or if I'm texting you, I'm misspelling words, I'm putting words in the wrong spot. That's not what I said. Or when you're so upset for me, I'm so upset, my hands is going faster than what I'm saying. And I hit send. And then I go
Yeah.
back and was like, no, no, this is this, and I got the stars, and it is just, you need to sit down and talk to me, and you need to be open minded when you talk to me, and so that we can talk.
So,
Because and it's not me talking words and I'm just throwing words at you.
but see, that's again, that's your way. Then you have other
But
people.
Bobby just jumped on up in here. Our
And
landlord is
yeah,
here.
landlord is in here, y'all. Do y'all want the landlord to come on and say hi to us? I think the landlord needs to show his face. What
He
y'all
said, "What about writing letters?" Oh, you a hand talker too? And I don't know who my Facebook user is, but yeah, it's something about these hands
Yeah,
that
because we've learned. We've learned to
somebody
talk
asked
back
me
to them.
if I was Italian, or if I had Italian in my family because I talk with my hands, and it's like,
They
no.
always ask us that, but no. Even though I don't know, because one of our aunts are over there. The one that they said,
Oh, it's me, Cuzzo. Hey, Cuzzo. Val is in the audience. She came in and did support in the audience.
no, somebody else says it. Somebody said, "Hey, baby, is that Mom
No,
Val?"
she said, "Hey, Bobby.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Bobby."
Bobby. Yeah.
So, writing a letter is good. I am a fan of writing letters. I have written a couple. Well, I'll say this: the first letter I wrote, God bless his soul, was to my son father. And because of his reaction, I said I would never write another letter again, because this dude, he read the letter front to cover. He looked at it, and I even said, if you want to write me back, write me back. We don't have to even talk about it. And this dude, rest his soul,
He gonna come see you tonight.
said no. He said, So this was my letter. It's my letter. He said, so chocolate, that was cute and all, but now tell me what you wrote. Excuse me? Tell me what you wrote. That's cute, but tell me what's in that letter. Is it because you got Fifi on your report card that you don't know what I just wrote? Like what? So it turned, it just went totally left. It went totally left. And I never write another letter.
No, guys, no. This is what I wish I had. We gonna get that boom bang flag. Watch. Listen, ask her what Fifi mean, y'all.
Well, Fifi meant because he was older than me. So, back in the day, the report cards, you had A, B, C, D, E, and F. When I went to school, E's went away. It just went from D to F. So he had Fifi on his report card because, So that was always my little dig for him. Just because you got Fifi in your report card.
And she used to always say that to him. It don't matter what argument they were having, and she would say that. I'd be like, "You are just mean." And wait, but then they would come right back, and I'm like,
we were fine. We had
like,
that.
I'm mean to somebody. I'm talking about some come back. I'm like that commercial with the mop. Baby, come back. Please come back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Yeah, he just had a way of just like he just had a way of just getting under my skin and making it boil.
Well, you know what? I'm glad I got it. You know what?
But anyway, I will write a letter again now in my older days. I will write a letter if I needed to.
That goes back to the question that Deb said earlier when she said that when she talked about the feelings and she talked about the fear, the love and fear. She didn't have a fear in her heart. She was like, "Yo, she won't go back, whatever." That was her. Me, I was like, "Me, what I'm gonna do?" She was like, "What you need to do is shut up. You need to shut up." But it's the fear of I don't want to be alone. It's the fear of what do I do now? It's the fear of it. You have all these emotions, and that's why I used to always ask this question. I learned to ask the question. Don't ask the question if you're not going to change.
You don't want the answer.
Get the answer. Don't do it. Because what was the point of you asking? Like you said, don't go over there. Don't drive over the house because if it's there and you find out that it's there, what you going to do? And I was like, she said, exactly. Or if you don't do that, one my other favorite one, you ain't leaving. So why you need to upset yourself going? Or if that's the case, if you have an issue of a thought, there's a possibility. Why are you still there? Why are you there? Why put yourself through it? Just leave. If you have an inkling, why you gotta sit there? I'm gonna check the bags, girl. If you don't believe in him and you don't believe in her, then you don't need to be there. That's a trust issue. And if you have a trust issue, you can't build nothing on a trust issue. You can't. And then, like she said, you got some writers. Okay, well, you let them know in the beginning, I'm a writer. Friends of mine, we do better texting because when we start talking, it becomes emotional, it then becomes heated, and then it becomes an argument, and then everything is a wash. It's like, okay, you know what? This ain't working. Let's take our time. Let's talk it out through a text. Because now I got to stop. I got to sit there. I got to concentrate. I got to look at it. I have to be careful what I'm saying. But that's me. That's not her. I'm a writer. I'm going to write. Like I'm going to write and say, I did not appreciate the hotel services and the money that we paid out for the hotel services did not render out to the services that was provided to us today. So I would like some type of something. And I don't want you to give me a percentage to come back because I'm not coming back again. And I'm going to tell all my friends not to come in. That's me. Or I'm that one that you got nasty while I was in the driveway. And I said to you, well, if you asked me what I wanted, why? Because you surely didn't give me what I asked for. So y'all need to do the disclaimer of stop asking us what we want at the driveway because we never get away with what we want. That's for bacon. I got chicken. Not even the same alphabet. But anyway, like I said, it depends on who you're dealing with. So the guy that she's dealing with, she would know. If he has Fifi's on the report card, don't write the letter.
Yeah, that was our little thing. And and he also used to have me, because back then when we were together, I didn't express myself a lot. I didn't
No,
want to
she
talk
didn't.
about it. I didn't want to talk about it.
And
And
that
my
was
thing,
scary, y'all.
and my thing is, even to this day, if I have to talk to you about something, it's a problem, because
And that's scary, y'all.
I don't let everything bother me. So for him to sit there and say, "Now tell me what you wrote," it pissed me off, most definitely. But it was also a point for him where he's like, "I want to make sure you wrote that and not somebody else, or I want to make sure that when you wrote that, you wasn't in an emotional box when you wrote it, and now you feel different because other things has happened. Now I've told you more, I've given you more now, so do you still feel that way?" But it wasn't until later, after I calmed down, and then he'd be like, "You all right? You still mad at me? All right, I'm gonna come back tomorrow." And then he would come back tomorrow and say, "Well, I'm just gonna pick you up from school because then you have no reason to talk," because he knew I wasn't gonna get on the bus. So I was like, "Well, how you get home?" Because I didn't call everybody and told everybody not to come get you. So then it forced me to get in the car and have to talk about it. But now that I'm older and I can express myself without the emotion, I can express myself without the other dramatics. And I used to also was very smart, because I would use words that I knew people didn't really hear every day. So I purposely would just throw out vocabulary words because I could. And that was another defense mechanism for me to not deal with it. Because the length of time that it took you to find out what I just said to you, I don't care no more. But now that I'm older and I'm more experienced, and I don't do that anymore. I do not do that anymore. I do not do that anymore. I do not. My children do now. And
And they do it the worst way.
that skill has passed on to my
What
pride
many
and my
me?
joy. That had passed on to my pride and my joy, my ace of diamonds and my diamond of hearts. That they do that. They do that now.
She never lied when she said that one.
That's
God,
what they do. That's what they do now.
they make you literally stop and go like this.
But now that I'm older,
You sit
I
there and
don't
count,
play those
y'all.
games anymore.
You count, y'all, but they don't make it a game. Theirs is not a game. That's the bad part. Theirs is not a game. Theirs, they be really like, they be into this. They be serious.
Yeah, we do.
And
Because
they
that's
got the
how we
face.
talk to each other.
And they got the face. And then they laugh at you after they do it. And they be like, you ain't ready.
Yes, that which song are we seeing express yourself? Which one are we singing?
Express yourself.
Are we doing that one?
Then do it. Express yourself. Then, or are you doing the express yourself with, what's the other one? With the other express yourself? The one with salt and pepper?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So go ahead, read.
Excuse me, sire. Let's get this straight right now. Let me get you straight right now. I knew you knew her longer. I knew she introduced you while we were yet jumping around to soca and training music. But I call you sire. Okay. And you good with me. Okay. All right. We're clear. Okay. Just
That's why he my friend. He gonna always be my friend.
excuse me. We were the ones in the middle of the floor jumping this way.
She's
Me and him.
pepper.
No. It was me and him. It was me and him jumping in the middle.
Express yourself.
No. Wait a minute. Here you go. When I say go,
No.
go to the wall.
No.
And you don't stop until I tell you to stop.
No.
Music go.
That wasn't even him.
Let's go. We did so. That was us in Miami. Yes, he was.
He wasn't with us in Miami.
Yes, he was with us in Miami.
No, he was not.
And he was also with us when we was in Pegasus, when we had the powder and the water.
He was not in Miami though. Gosh.
Remember we had the powder and the water in Pegasus?
Tell her stop telling all your business. Stop telling all your business.
That was Carnival for anybody who want to know.
He was not with us in Miami. That was the punching crew.
We are
not
going
the job. It was not the job crew. It's the punching.
You're not going to talk about the punching crew with 180% rum.
When
sunshades on.
Yeah, when she went to Miami, you wasn't jumping to nothing right with her in Miami. Oh my goodness. Anywho.
Oh gosh, what was my song? Wait a minute. At 24 days.
She still don't know the words, so that's not her song. Oh my goodness.
Do I know the song? Do I know the words to anything? No, I don't. That's why I love jazz and instrumentalists. There ain't no words, it's just music. Oh, all we have to do is hum the song. Da 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 da.
Well, anyway, back to letters. They also have this great thing that they do. It's something called at Gmail, at Hotmail, at Yahoo, at Comcast. That you can write an email.
Wait. He said he has pictures. Wait, did you? Wait, do you have the pictures when I was on the plane?
He wasn't on the plane with
or
us.
After the plane. How do you got pictures? I need you to let me know how you got pictures.
Jesus.
Oh God, we'll talk about that story one day. How we ended up in
Miami.
Oh my God.
She forgot the lyrics. Yes, Bobby. That's why she went to Paris.
I did not. And if anybody knows me, I did not forget the lyrics to that song. That was actually the part in the song by the infamous, my favorite, Phil Perry rendition of All This Love Is Waiting for You. Talking about Phil Perry, he's something else. Let me tell you what he told me. He told me you have to be careful how you talk to your children, and when you talk to them, how you're talking to them, because you never want them to be thinking or be called stupid because of how they feel. Phil Perry is a deep brother. He was talking some stuff, and I was like, yo, keep talking, Phil. Keep talking. Can I put you on the phone real quick and put you on speaker? I need other people to hear what you're saying. And one of these days, I'm gonna see if I can get him. He has some real straight knowledge on some stuff. He don't just have some lyrical vocals from just saying. What happened in the part that Miami stays in Miami? Yes, Lord. Can you say Bernie's weekend at Bernie's? Yeah. The days of Miami, Trini Carnival. Yeah.
But it's just, he said, why you say stupid like that? Because Bobby, because that's how she acting right now. That's how she acting right now. Mr. Landlord, we're going to have a meeting because she be getting on us for throwing all these towels on the floor, but
you can have those moments. You can have those moments because of those stupid moments. It's those stupid moments that bring me joy. People be looking like, that's my joy. That takes me back to a moment. And it takes me back to a fun moment. It wasn't a bad moment. And I believe every now and then we need the bottle of stupid. When we having those issues and those moments, we can take the bottle cap off and sniff the stupid moments, smile about it, put it back on, and deal with reality. Because life is hard and things in life is difficult. And sometimes being in the world, knowing that you're not the only one in it, can be difficult for a person who don't understand what that really, really means. And you need a stupid bottle every now and then that you can sniff to get you through the moments. Whatever. She says it often. We all get stupid once in a while. Honey,
Right. Right.
mine was no.
Her ain't a once in a
Mine
while.
was no. Well, no, I wasn't once in a
She
while, baby.
she does it all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that. You need that, those
You,
icebreakers.
you need one clown in the
When
family, and
yeah,
I'm it.
you need those little miniature icebreakers when things get a little bit too serious or too heated around the collar.
Yeah.
Then you know this
Now
is
I do know when it's time. I believe we all do know when it's time. But every now and it's a time and a place for everything. Time. I think we was taught that, and I believe that's something that we could say actually was taught that really surfaced the true meaning. You the clown too, Bobby. That's why me and you are the yeah, me and you go like that. That's why. Yeah. We're the creative ones. That's why we're creative like that. We got that talent, that gift.
jeez.
But if it wasn't for but we need those. We need those people. We need those. Like, every now and then, like, okay, every now and then things can get so intense where you really need to just like not end up being like the soda bottle shook up. You ever had to I maybe not need to do that. When you shake up the soda bottle.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another version of the Beau T Shop, where we had our other stylist who graced her with her presence today, Val, but she had to leave early. So we thank you guys and we wish well to our other stylist, Monet. She is away vacationing. So, we just thank you for once again being with us at the Beau T Shop, where you never know what we're talking
Wow.
about.
You never
And
know
you
what
never
God's gonna
know
throw
how
on
the
the board.
conversation is going to go to the left or to the right, or if it's just going to get dark.
And yes, Bobby, you do know. We do. No, that wasn't Bobby. Is it? It was. Yeah, it was a Sire. Yes, you do know when to take a break and get
And
away.
just get away.
And that's what and sometimes when you can't get away, you get that person to help you to get
It just, Bobby, it just gets dark.
Oh gosh. I really appreciate these moments, and I believe appreciate these moments too,
And
because
Val, if you're watching, Cuzzo, you left me. I just want you to know that you left me. And it's been a very long time that I did not leave you. I have been here with you in the beauty shop. And when I left you, it's because I really had something to do and somewhere to be. And I could not grace everyone with my presence. But Val, you left me today in a beauty shop. You did it.
payback is all I have to say, you guys. But anyway, back to what we had to initially say to bring everything full fold. Because some of you have just walked in the door and like, what just happened? It went dark a couple of times. And then one on the other side, her hair just went like all over the place. You're like, what's going on? Yes, you're gonna have to go back and watch the replay. And that's what happens when you have a real serious topic, but you don't want to walk away with the serious eyebrows and the headache. Like, oh God. If you want to have a headache, let it be a headache from laughter, fun, and I'm glad, Boo. I'm glad we were able to get you that. I'm glad you was able to get that laugh. And it's like I said today, we have so much that we have to deal with on the regular. And as a result of everything that we have to deal with, it's hard. It's hard. But then you have people that can give you that moment where you can mentally get away, spiritually give away, or physically get away and just have a moment. Like I had the pleasure of doing that this weekend. I was able to literally, physically, and spiritually get away. And so it helps me to be able to deal with my Monday. We'll be able to have a Monday where we can be able to move, because some things will stop us and hinder us from moving, and we just can't move. We just don't know what to do. But then you have that person that walks in the room and give you that nudge, and you be like, "Yo." So glad we was able to do that for you, and I hope we was able to do that for some of you guys. So please leave your tips, leave your comments. If there's something that you want us to talk about, let us know. Sire, we didn't forget about you. We actually was going to talk about your discussion today, but we didn't think that you were available given the circumstances. So we wanted to respectfully honor you today and your father. And so we got you next time. And landlord, you know you up next. So get it together. And anybody else that feels though you want to just come get your hair done and chop it up with us. We talk about anything and everything. And today it was just a part 2 of healing. So if you're wondering how to heal, let it be you that finds out what needs to heal. And be careful who's in your ear telling you what needs to be healed, because it may just be not you needing the healing that they're talking about. It may be them that need the healing too. Anything you want to say, Reed?
Nope, you summed it up.
Summed it up. All right. Well, time to close up the shop. So, as Val would say, well, thank you for coming. And do know that this segment will be dropped on all social media platforms and musical platforms in a moment. So be ready for it, prepare for it. And like we said, if there's anything you want to know about the beauty shop, if it's a hairstyle you want us to talk about or do, hit us in the chat. We do respond back to you. Leave us our tips. Tell us what you think. If you liked it, you didn't like it. We like all type of feedback, so we'll know how to please you, because we aim to serve and please, not us, but you. So thank you again for stopping by the beauty shop. Thank you, Val and Ree, for opening up the shop and allowing me to start darkening and dirtying up some white towels. Now I got to go and clean up.
Yeah, clean up your mess today.
I can, because I went away and I feel good.
We can tell.
Shut up.
Bye-bye. So long. Farewell. It's time to say goodbye to you and you and you and you and you.
Now y'all slow down here. Don't y'all run out here and forget to make y'all next appointment.